Okay, I think we're live. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Selfridge, and welcome to Sunday Live Show with Dr. Selfridge. We're back again. Nice to see some people already in the chat room with some questions. If you are a new person visiting our live stream, my name is Dr. Selfridge. I teach music lessons on YouTube, and we're here for about an hour answering your questions and your requests and anything that has to do with music or band. So nice to see some folks already in the chat room. We're going to jump right in and say hello to some people in the chat. Let's see here. Let's start with, I need to turn this button on. By the way, if you are new in the chat, we always like to meet new people and let us know who you are, and especially if you're asking a question, definitely let me know what instrument you play, what instrument you're asking about, a little bit about, if you let me know like what your experience level is. Maybe you're a beginner, or maybe you are have been playing for a few years, or that just helps me to answer your question a little bit better. So we're going to say hello to some people in the chat. First off, we have Matthew Cialetti, who is a good friend of ours, wishing everyone a happy October afternoon. It is a beautiful day. Well, I have a little bit of a story about this. It's a beautiful day today, kind of very much in the fall, autumn season. It's blue skies and a little windy, chilly, kind of crisp air and leaves all over the place. But yesterday, this is the story. Yesterday was super rainy, and I don't know where you all are watching from, what part of the country or the world you're watching from. I am in the Philadelphia area, and we have had rain, it seems like every Saturday in the whole month, going back to actually September. So all of the poor band directors, marching band directors, of which I am one, have been sort of, it's been very difficult with every Saturday raining, because we have our competitions on Saturdays. We managed to get our competition in yesterday, but it was raining the whole time, and we all got soaking wet. But the students actually had a really great performance, so it was pretty cool. Let's say hello to some more people. Our good friend Mike is here. Hola, Mike. How are you? And Mike is in with a request, teaching how to play the theme tune to Sleepy Hollow. That's interesting. One of my favorite Halloween, October sort of memories is when I was a kid. One of the Halloween specials, those cartoons that would come on, was The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. It was a cartoon. I think it was from Disney, and that was one of my favorite Halloween cartoons. But I'm not familiar with the TV series, so I'm going to look this up for Mike. Say hello to some other people while I'm looking this up. Leonardo is a friend of ours, is back. Hi, Leonardo. How are you? Okay, Ethan. So sorry to hear that, buddy. But we'll keep our comments and our questions based on music. But hey, I'm very sorry to hear that. Adil is new. Hi, Adil. Good to see you. Leonardo, happy October. Hold on, I gotta fix my. There we go. Oh, the volume is low. How about that? So what I did was I thank you. I just turned my volume up. I was playing with my settings a little bit. Let me turn this down. There we go. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Happy October to Leonardo. And hi again. Hi, Guy. Okay, so I'm going to answer this question, and then I'm going to play Mike's request. Why can't you march with double reed instruments? This is a good question. Why? I can think of a few reasons why. I don't have the official history of it. I could speculate, as a marching band director. I think double reed instruments are maybe particularly susceptible to weather conditions, especially reeds. That could be one reason. Maybe the fact that you're playing a double reed instrument and you don't have a mouthpiece to kind of latch onto might be difficult to march with an oboe or a bassoon. And it might just be something where it just, through the evolution of, marching bands began years ago out of the military bands. And so marching with instruments, it might have something to do with the evolution. I've seen marching bass clarinets, which is interesting. We don't tend to have those. I haven't seen those in my area, but I've seen those in other schools. So that's a good question. Let's go to, this keeps popping up. Stop it. All right, let's go to Mike's request of Sleepy Hollow series. Sleepy Hollow TV series theme. Sleepy Hollow. Oh, okay, 2013. So it's kind of it's recent. Okay. Let's give a little listen here. Oh wait, I have to turn off my other music that's going. Shoop. All right, here we go. Can you guys hear that? Okay. This has a nice, one thing that makes this a good song to teach. And Mike, you play tenor, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to teach this on tenor. And I'll also pick out the notes on the piano. So the good thing about this little tune is that it's a very prominent melody. It's very, there's a very clear melody with background music, or accompanying parts. So let me listen. This is the background part. Okay, you hear that? I think it's a violin. Goes da 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 da. So this is in a minor key, which makes sense because it's like kind of I don't know what you'd call it, haunted sounding or creepy sounding, and it's in minor. So I have to pick out this tune again. So when I'm figuring out songs, I explain this. All right, sorry, I'm gonna do piano first. I explain this every time. When I'm figuring out songs, the first thing you listen for is what sounds like the central note of the song. You could call it the resting tone. You could call it do. Some people call it like the tonic. So I'm hearing this note as the central sound of the song. Ba. Okay, it's G minor. Okay, so we're in G minor. Da, da. That's the second note of the scale. Da, da, da. There it is. Da, 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 da. Okay. I wonder if I can show you on the piano what I'm doing here. There it is. And I'll put, so. Is that it? Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to teach you that little bit there, because that's a nice little 4-part phrase that's going to be pretty easy to teach. Da, 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 da. So we're in A minor on tenor. I'll teach it in the low octave. Okay, so we're going to go B, C, A, B, C, and then we're going to go to G sharp. So, da, do, 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 do. B, C, A, B, C, G sharp, and then E, E, F, C, D. Up in the octave key. E, F, C, D. Okay, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to review it again. Da, 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 da. Phrase 1. Phrase 2 starts on E. Then it repeats phrase 1. It repeats phrase 2 again, but it sort of continues on. E, F, C, D, and then continues up the scale. E, F, G, A. So there we go. That one was pretty quick and easy to teach. So thanks for that recommendation or that request, Mike. So let's see what else we have in the chat. What else? Oh, we have a lot of stuff happening. Okay. All right. Here we go. Adil, your name's Abel. So you'd like me to call you Abel? I'm happy to do that. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. Joelee, do I teach band or just online lessons? So I am a high school band director. Joelee, I started this channel a while ago when I was an elementary band director. I started it to make lessons for my beginners because I only saw them once a week. And that's why. I still teach, and now I teach high school band, but I also do this. I actually don't have any online students right now. I have a couple of private students that I teach locally here near where I live. Jacqueline is saying happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to Jacqueline. Okay, so wait, let me make sure sorry. My clicker keeps clicking. Why is it doing that? That's annoying. It keeps clicking the, all right, anyway. My clicker is being a little bit, what's the word? Cranky. So, thank you, Salvation. I was able to turn my sound up. Why does it keep doing this? Okay. Sorry, every time I click on a comment, it's like, it's not letting me scroll through. Anyway. What else? Uptown Funk Easy Way. Okay, this is one of my most popular videos. I'll teach it real quick. Although, you did say clarinet. Okay. So when you make a request, folks, make sure in the same request you tell me what instrument you'd like me to play it on. I do remember that my friend here did say that you play clarinet. So, all right, good. I'm sorry. My clicker is just being weird. All right, here we go. Uptown Funk the Easy Way starts on clarinet, E, right? E, A. You got to go E from E to A. E, and then another E. E, A, and then no fingers for G. So, E, A, G. And we do that a couple times. So we do a single E. Then we do the E, A, G. Again. Then we play D, E. So I'm going to put it all together. Rest, rest, ref. 2, 3, 4. Again. That's the easiest part of the song because it's that repeated bass line thing. That part. It gets a little bit trickier in my tutorial video because I go into the verse when Bruno Mars starts singing. So there's the basic start to that song. And on my tutorial video, you can see all of the notes there. Cool. Let's see. Leonardo, can I explain how to play the high E on the flute has 3 ledger lines above the music staff? Sure. So whenever you want to figure out a new note, you can either go to a book that has a fingering chart, or on Google you can search for flute fingering chart, and you can see the picture of the home keys. The home keys are all the buttons on your instrument that your fingers have to stay at home on. They're not supposed to move off of these keys. They go up, they go down, but you don't slide like your first finger down here to play this key. It doesn't work that way most of the time. You keep your fingers right at home. That's why I call them the home keys. Now, for high E on the flute, let me think here. Yes, it is, right, it is thumb, your thumb on the back, on your left hand, your first home key, your second home key, and then on your right hand, your first home key, your second home key, and your pinky on the E flat key. There it is, okay? And you can check it with your lower E. There is your high E, 3 ledger lines on the flute. Okay, Diverse Edits. Hello to you. Thanks for joining us. And Mia is here. Hi, Mia. Good to see you. Mia is here almost every week. Mike, what are your thoughts on the best saxophone stand or wall brackets? Okay, I've actually never... The only place I've seen wall brackets is at a music store, where they have a whole rack system and they put the wall bracket in there. Those are pretty cool. They're cool for like displaying your saxophones. But I guess I've seen the wall brackets that hold a guitar neck. So I guess you could get one of those for saxophone. I would be a little bit nervous. Putting it on the wall, kind of, especially as you go higher, it makes me nervous that if it fell off, you'd really have some damage there. So I tend to use just a regular saxophone stand with the legs. What is the kind that I use? I don't have it. It's got my saxophones on it, and it's too big to lift up. But oh wait, hold on. I could grab one right here if my headphones will allow me. Little field trip back here. Okay. This is called a Hercules stand. All right, little free advertising. I do not endorse them or anything, but officially. But this is what I use, Hercules. It's really great because they're sturdy. They hold your instrument really securely, and they're really convenient to break down, or they're portable. Right? You can push these buttons, and it kind of gets into this compact mode where you can take it away on a gig or something. So I love the Hercules stands. I have, this is a single saxophone one. I have a down here, which you can't see, I have a double saxophone stand with pegs for clarinet and flute. Okay, so let's check out our next comment question here. Okay, Take On Me on the Flute. Okay. That's kind of well, let's see. I can definitely do that. Let me answer a couple more questions, then I'll come back to that request, okay? Ethan is chiming in on our conversation about the double reeds and things like that. So Ethan says that marching bari sax, yes, we actually, in our marching band where I teach, we have, believe it or not, what do we have? Do we have three kids marching bari sax? It's quite a sound, quite a powerful sound. I have not, only place I've seen a marching bass saxophone is in the Mummers, which is a local, I don't know if you're not from the Philadelphia area, you might not have heard of them. The Mummers string bands are community concert bands, but that march in the New Year's Day parade and Thanksgiving Day parade. They get dressed up in costumes on different themes, but the thing is about the string bands, they're called string bands, but they have banjos, marching upright basses, believe it or not, but the rest of the instruments, right? Oh, and drums with cymbals. The rest of the instruments, believe it or not, are all saxophones. It's, alto, tenor, bari, and bass saxophones, big bass saxophones. I don't know if they have sopranos regularly, but anyway, there's no trumpets or trombones or anything like that. It's a very unique thing that we have. Ethan says that, all right, Ethan, you march bari sax in high school. That's cool. Bari sax is a fun instrument to play. Hi, guy. Oh, do I use UDB? So that UDB, for folks who might not know, is Ultimate Drill Book, which is an app that marching bands use. So instead of handing out paper copies of their coordinate sheets where you march on the field when you're learning your drill, it's on your phone. It's actually a really cool app. We used it last year for marching band, and I really liked it. This year we didn't use it because we just had some other things we needed to put our budget towards. But I really liked the Ultimate Drill book. I think we may bring it back next year, depending on how things go. But it is really super convenient because not only does it show you every person in the band, it shows you where your dot is. It shows you sort of animations and like tells you what kind of path you should take to your dot. It's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, Mike plays alto mainly. Oh, okay. Sorry, Mike. I taught it to you on tenor. Okay. Talia, I'm a 7th grader, new clarinet player, want to learn play Happy Birthday. Oh, I got to go back to that flute request. I will go back to it. So, Talia, I know exactly, hopefully you're still watching. I know exactly what challenge you're having here, because when you play Happy Birthday, when you move to C, right, on a clarinet, especially if you're a new clarinet players know this challenge that we have. We have the lower notes of the clarinet, which are called the lower register, which is all these notes here. All of those notes. When you get to this note A, we can also play this note B flat. But when you get there, if you notice, all of the holes of the clarinet, we start way down here, cover up all the holes. All the holes are covered up, and my full clarinet is vibrating a low note. So as you lift up a finger, another hole gets opened up, and your clarinet gets shorter, 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 right? Because the air is coming out higher and higher. That makes your notes higher and higher. When I get up here, I've run out of holes to open up. We're all the way up here, right? So what we have to do is we have to flip up into something called the upper register. And the upper register means we go back to covering up all the holes, but now with all the holes covered up, when we pop this special key right here, this register key, it kicks the clarinet into higher register mode. And there's sort of reasons that have to do with physics and acoustics why that works, but it just does. So you press this, and now you recycle all of your low notes, but with this register key pressed down, and you're in something called the upper octave. So we have a whole new set of notes that we can play. The thing about that C, when you're playing Happy Birthday, is it's the first note that occurs in the song that's in the upper octave, and that can be challenging for new clarinet players. So, there's two answers I can help you with. One thing is to say I can give you help on how to achieve that note. Okay, so here's how you can work on achieving that note. This is the long range answer, so you can work on it. So to play that note C for Happy Birthday, you need to play all your home keys, thumb, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and your right hand pinky is the most common fingering. You press down this key right here. Now, if you don't have the register key on, the note you get is a low F. Listen. So what I recommend is work on getting that low note, and if you can't get it out, start from a C and add a finger, add a finger, add a finger. Finally, add your lowest pinky to get that low F. Listen. Once you have a really strong low F, you just ever so slightly tap your thumb on this register key and focus on the idea that you're not going to move any of your fingers at all. Because if you move your fingers a little bit, the air might leak and it won't work. So here we go. And that note is your C. So that's how you can practice C. The second way to do this is you can change the notes of the song so you don't have to play that high note. There's a way to play Happy Birthday on all low notes. Let's do it on, if you start on a low G down here, I'm going to take your comment off the screen so you can see my fingers better, okay? So we're going to start on a low G. G, G, A, C. I'm sorry. G, G, A, G, C, B. Middle finger B. Then you do it again, but you play G, G, A, G, D, C. Then G to open G. Then you play E, C, B, A. Let me give you the whole phrase. G, 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 E, C, B, A. C, C, B, G, A, G. Oh, my bad. I totally was audiating that wrong. F, F, E, C, D, C. That's Happy Birthday in a low key that you can achieve without any high notes. Sorry, folks. I know that was a long answer for that one. But clarinet high notes are one of my favorite topics. All right. Woo, a lot of comments. Okay. Thank you, Joelee. You got it. Talia, B-flat clarinet. Oh, there we go. So that's related to all the stuff I was just talking about, okay? So there we go. So Talia, all right, ready? Hopefully you've got a pencil. I'm gonna explain the notes to you one more time so you can play it. G, G, G. Here we go. Ready? G, G, A, G, C, B. That's first phrase. G, G, A, G, C, B. Second phrase. G, G, A, G, D, C. Third phrase. G, 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 E, C, B, A. Final phrase. F, F, E, C, D, C. Anyone who wants to play Happy Birthday, those notes will work. And Talia, after this live stream is over, it goes back on my channel, so you can go back and watch and write down those notes and practice. All right, I'm going to go back to this request, Take On Me on flute. So, okay, so there's a lot of parts of this song I could teach. There's a lot of like recognizable little riffs in this song. There's that part. Then there's Take On Me. I'm just picking a random key. I wonder what key it is. I'm going to listen to it. So you guys know that you can play a song many different ways. Like literally, I just demonstrated that on Happy Birthday because Talia asked if I could teach Happy Birthday. Talia was playing Happy Birthday in the key of F major, which involved a high note. So I changed the key to C major to make it easier to play on the clarinet. So you can take a song and put it in any key. Let me listen to see. Okay. Okay, so it's in B minor on the piano, which puts us in an awkward key for all the different instruments. So I'm gonna pick a key that's gonna work better for flute. Take on me. Oh boy, let me think about this for a second. You know, I'm just gonna instead of wasting time with me figuring it out, I'm gonna see if it's. All right, here it is. It's on YouTube. All right, so I'm just gonna play this. Okay. it's a high E. All right. What a coincidence that was, because we had earlier in the show, we had people asked, or Leonardo asked how to play a high E on the flute, and look at that. We used it in Take On Me. So if you want to play Take On Me, you could literally just go to YouTube and search it, Take On Me on the flute. Here's the Take On Me part. A, G sharp, A, and so on from there. What's next? A, wait, A. What is it? Yeah. Yeah. A, E, F sharp. Take on me. And then the high part. C sharp. Up to the high E. Fun. Maybe there might be some notes in there. If you're more of a beginner flute, you might not know, so it could be a little bit challenging. Let's rock down to some other questions here. Let's see. Ethan, do I have any videos of my band performing that we can see? Sure. If you look for, so the name of the school I teach at is Garnet Valley High School. So GarnetValley. If you search for Garnet Valley Band, you can find some stuff. There's a lot of old videos on there that go even back further from when before I even started teaching there, and then we have some more updated videos that you can check out. Okay. Oh, there's Abel. Okay. I'm glad that was helpful for you. Angel. All right. Hopefully I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but it's always it just kind of makes me laugh sometimes the way people describe the sounds of instruments that aren't quite sounding right. So your instrument sounds like a dying cat. Let me tell you. Okay, ready? I have this happened. This was like happens all the time when I was a beginner band director. And it is going through the checklist of why your instrument isn't sounding correct. I'm just Googling here. I'm not Googling. I'm finding it on my... Here we go. So I'm going to expand this so y'all can see it. So this is called our clarinet checklist. And we're going to go over it right now. Here we go. So, your clarinet is not sounding right. Step 1. Oh, you can't see because of my camera. Hold on. I am going to fix this. Let's go back. I'm just going to make my little picture in the corner a little smaller. Where are you? Okay, never mind. I can't find it. So I'm just gonna do it without me in the corner. Okay. Clarinet checklist number 1. Is your clarinet put together properly? Okay, so is your reed aligned correctly, especially is your reed aligned with the mouthpiece? Let me show you. Right here, your reed has to be lined up perfectly with the top of the mouthpiece. It shouldn't be too low. It shouldn't be higher than the tip of the mouthpiece. It should be exactly even. Maybe if I go here, you could really see it. There we go. Look at that. See that? Other things you want to look for is make sure it's aligned properly. The quickest way to check to make sure your clarinet is lined up the right way is look at the back of your clarinet. This is like the shortcut, because the front of your clarinet is confusing with all these buttons, right? Look at the back. It should go like this. Your reed should go straight down to this long, thin key in the back. That's your register key, and should go straight down to your thumb rest. If those 3 things are lined up, you are A-OK. Reed, register key, long, thin register key, and the thumb rest. So that's step 1, okay? Now, step 2 is, are you holding it with the proper holding position and posture? So you're sitting up tall with your back straight? And are you holding the clarinet with proper posture, sitting up tall? Okay, like this. Step 3. Are you playing with proper embouchure? That means your band face, and are you using good, strong air? Embouchure, oui. Smooth bottom lip for clarinet, oui. Firm corners, 2. The reed goes on your bottom lip. Your top teeth go on. This, I'm guessing this might be the one. If you sound like a dying cat, it's probably because of what you're doing here. Thin bottom lip, oui, stretched against your bottom teeth. Firm corners. Put your teeth on top of the mouthpiece. Firm corners. Just go open note, no fingers. My teeth are on top. If you're not doing those things, that could be why you're getting sort of a not so great sound, like a squawk, right? Right? If you get that sound, okay, let's go over that. Ready? A squeak or a squawk means you've got the mouthpiece too far in your mouth. Don't put it as far in your mouth. So here's a squawk. Take it out sound. There we go. If you're not getting any sound at all, or you can't get any air through, that means you don't have enough mouthpiece in your mouth and you're closing off the reed. So try putting a little bit further in your mouth. So hopefully, and then the final one on the checklist is, are you pressing the correct keys right here? Are you pressing the correct keys? Because make sure you're pressing the right keys that you need to press for your note. Okay. Sorry. I know I have a lot of comments here, which is awesome. So, but when I take my time to answer the questions and the requests, I might not get to you right away. Mike, did I stop doing my live streams on Facebook? Yeah, I stopped doing that because it was like the technology online service that I was like trying out to do that was not really working. It was just causing problems, and I didn't really find that many people were watching on Facebook. So I'm just keeping it to YouTube. Okay. Okay. So wait. Oh, So it looks like Talia was like answering Angel's problem there, and it worked. That's awesome. So you guys don't even need me here. Leonardo, I got a 70% on the midterm during my tonal harmony class. Oh, okay. Triads. Cool. Yeah. Tonal harmony, learning how to hear music. It's very useful. Let's keep rocking here on some more questions. Talia says, I had to do a playing test and aced it. That's awesome. All right. That's great. That's awesome, Leonardo. Let's see. This little clicking issue I'm having is like slowing me down. Christopher. Jeez Louise. Okay. Christopher says, times like this, I hate that I quit playing saxophone after high school. I did pursue other instruments. So Christopher, what instruments do you play? If you're still with us here today in the chat, let me know what instrument you play. All right. Yeah. You know, I whenever I have students that I know, like adults tell kids things like, oh, you know, I know from experience and I'm advising you to do this or that. And sometimes kids are like, yeah, whatever. But whenever I have students that are dropping out of band for whatever reason, I always tell them that when adults come up to me, they always say, I wish I never quit band, or I wish I never quit my piano lessons. You know, I regret that now. And so I think it's, you know, it's sometimes music lessons are a thing you have to kind of really push through and stay with. Of course, Christopher, it looks like you stayed all the way through high school, which is awesome. And the tricky part when you get out of high school is finding opportunities. Sometimes in college bands, you can find like marching bands and things like that. All right. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. Angel says, I did it again and is hyped. That's so cool. So you're getting a good sound now. Hopefully those tips that it looks like Talia helped you out. But hopefully some of my tips on that clarinet checklist are are useful as well. Talia, how do I play a B? My teacher said it's the A key and one of the side keys. All right, so on clarinet, if you play B, the middle line of the staff, third line from the bottom. So if you pretend I like to do this, if you have no sheet music in front of you, your hand is a staff. Look at this, 5 lines. Bottom line, 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 line. Top line, your thumb's a little short, but you know, it works. So this would be bottom line, E, G, B, D, F. So I'm talking about E, G, B right here. That's actually the first note on the clarinet that crosses the break. So this is what I was telling you about, putting all your keys down, and it would be the equivalent of a low E on a low note. Add your register key. Now, the note I think you're talking about, A key plus one of the side keys, that's a B flat, which is the very tippity top last note you can play before you have to cross the break. It's an A, and if you want to use the side key, it's right here. Actually, I have a YouTube short where I talk about this key and this key, the 2 different ways to play B flat. A, B flat. So that might be the key or the note that your teacher's talking about. How do you find an A key? Talia, you should be a music teacher. You're answering all the questions in the chat. That's great. It's the thingy that looks like a leaf above the E key. Exactly right. So here's what you could call the E key. It's also the F sharp key if you don't have your thumb on. But it's your first finger right here. That's the A key. Okay? Next, Abel says, thank you. Abel says, I'm so helpful. That's cool. I appreciate that, Abel. I put up tutorials as often as I can, and then I'm also here every Sunday with this show that you're watching right now. Let's see. A lot of great questions. Oh, Diverse Edits is chiming in and says, I'm a beginner flute. That's great. Let me know if you have any questions about the flute. TMD Jason. Oh, TMD Jason. I want to play a new instrument, and right now I'm playing the clarinet. Okay, so you're saying that you're playing the clarinet right now, but you want to switch, or are you happy playing the clarinet? Let me know, because a lot of times when people want to switch instruments, it's because they're having some sort of challenge, and maybe if I can help you overcome whatever challenge you're having on the clarinet, you might like it better and might want to stay with it. Let's see. Ethan, does every marching band have a parking lot with dots and yard lines on it? So actually, depending on the school, actually at my school, our main practice, quote, field is we practice on the school main parking lot, which is painted with yard lines, just like yours is. We don't have dots. If you get like an upgrade, like some schools actually have, a school near me, they have it's a parking lot, but it's designated just for the marching band, and so then the lines they have painted are like really nice and well done, and they've got the dots every 4 steps to help you find your spot on the field. We don't have those 4-step dots. Sometimes we'll mark it off with tape or spray paint, so we know our those tick marks to finding every 4 steps. Okay, Leonardo, is E flat to A, is E flat to A a minor 6th chord? Okay, so E flat to A, oh, I turned my piano down. Here we go. E flat to A, show you on the piano, is what's called a tritone, right? Or it has a couple names. You could call it a diminished 5th. This would be a 5th, perfect 5th. Diminished 5th, you take it down a half step. Or you could also call it a augmented 4th, because we have a perfect 4th here, and we raise this note a half step. So it has a couple names: augmented 4th, perfect, diminished 5th, and the generic name, which covers everything, is tritone. So that's not really it's actually not a chord at all, because a chord generally requires 3 notes, okay? We would call this like I said, a diminished fifth or an augmented fourth interval, to answer your question. Minor 6 chord off of E flat would be this. Whoops. Minor 6 chord off of this would be, all right, so minor. There's your minor triad, and then we add the 6th. That's an E flat minor 6 chord on the flute. I mean, on the piano. It's E flat minor 6 chord no matter what instrument you're playing. That's what it is. So, okay. Talia. Oh. Looks like you guys are trying to figure out a particular note. If you need help, let me know on a particular note. Let's see. What else is happening in the chat? Oh, okay. We got some good requests here. How do you get a perfect fifth on the flute? So it actually, being on the flute does a perfect. Let me put it this way. Let me start over. Rewind. A perfect fifth is a perfect fifth no matter what instrument you're playing it on. So a different question. I might rephrase that question and pick any note you want to start on, and I could tell you what a perfect fifth is above that note. So let's just pick E flat. E flat was the beginning of your other question. A perfect fifth above E flat is a B flat. So, but if you said what's a perfect fifth above D, it's A. So depending on the note we start on, the answer would be different of what the perfect fifth is. We're actually literally in my AP Music Theory class in high school, we're literally talking about that exact subject right now. We're in Unit 2, and we're learning all about intervals. Let's see. You guys are really giving me lots of great stuff to talk about. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. If you're not a subscriber, actually, in order to participate in the chat, you do have to be a subscriber. So thank you for subscribing. You know, if you could click like on this video, that would be awesome. And if you're not a subscriber, definitely, you know, join us, subscribe, check out my videos, and join us again on another Sunday. Let's see. Robert, at first, my embouchure caused mayhem. Robert, you crack me up. Yes, beginner musicians create lots of interesting sounds. Mia Ann, can I play Spooky Scary Skeletons? That's the main melody. I'll play it in D minor on clarinet. That's a good key. It starts on the flat 6, so B flat, A, D, F, D. That's the A section. Da, 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 da. I'm trying to remember the bridge. That's it. That's Spooky Scary. I think I remembered that pretty much correctly. All right, folks, we have about 9 or so minutes left. Let's see. Ethan, my band director told us before we went to high school that every single student that quit said they regret it in the future. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's kind of hard to say every single, you know, because everyone's different. But I would say, you know, and put it this way, my advice that I give to every student who's making their way through the grades, especially if they are at crossing over schools, like in our district, it's 5th grade switches over to 6th grade into a new building, and 8th grade switches into a new building for high school in 9th grade. And me being the high school band director, I always say to the 8th graders, you know, middle school 6th through 8th, you've had this experience in band. By the way, in my part of the country, we start band in 4th grade. I know other parts of in the United States, it's typical to start in 6th grade or, you know, other things. But anyway, I would say to them, you know, sixth grade or middle school band is you've had that experience and maybe you liked it. Maybe there's some things you didn't like about it. But when you get to the high school, it's like a whole different experience. And I always tell students they really need to give themselves the opportunity to try high school band. Just try it for a year or a semester, because I think once students experience that sort of community and how it's different at the high school, that I think they are glad they tried it and they stay with it. Some students try it and they don't like it, and that's okay, because not everyone has to like everything, right? Not everyone has to like everything we like. Okay. Let's see. Your fave friend. Hopefully you're still here. I don't know how far behind I am on the comments. Why does my flute play some notes and not others? Okay, so I don't know if you were here when I was talking about the checklist. Let me see if I can find flute checklist. But let me give you the short answer. If I can't search for it here. Be awesome if I found it. All right, I'll tell you what. I am flute instrument checklist. Is this it? Yes. Excellent. Okay, so this is our flute checklist. Check it out. And I'm going to take your comment off so we can see the whole checklist, all right? So see the first one there? I'll take my video off so you see. Is your flute assembled properly? Make sure everything is aligned the right way. Your embouchure hole lined up here. That's usually not the biggest problem with the flute. Are you holding your instrument with the proper holding position? Right? Step 3, are you playing with the proper flute embouchure? M, lips together with a slight hole in the middle when you blow out your air. Are you pressing the correct keys? That might be the issue, right? It might be that you're not pressing the correct keys for the note you're looking for. Now, what I say at the bottom here is if you follow all these steps and it's still not working, like there's certain notes, like you're saying, there's certain notes that are working, certain notes that are not, it could totally be a problem with the keys of your flute. There could be one little screw that's out of place, or one little spring that's popped off, or it could be a bent key. And so that could be causing the problem where your flute isn't making the note that you want it to. So if you're following all those steps, I would take it to a music store or take it to a music teacher to check out. Okay? Let's see. A. Hi, A. Do I have any advice on playing high notes on the clarinet? The highest one, you can play a C sharp. Sure. All right. Let's see. If you're getting a high C sharp, then that means you are doing a lot of things right. I would say if you're topping off there and you're having problems, it could be that you need to get a slightly firmer reed. So I don't know what number reed you're playing on. It might be 2.5. If it's a 3, if you're already playing on a 3, then you can get these higher notes on a 3. But let me know what number reed you're playing on. If your reed is too soft, it can't handle the higher notes. When you get higher, it just closes up. So fingerings, make sure your fingerings are correct. A lot of it has to do with the voicing, the way your tongue is arched inside your mouth. If you think of the syllable E, think of the syllable E and what your tongue does when you say that. E, that helps you get those higher overtones on clarinet. So if you're on a high C, actually if you're on a high C sharp, I mean you're so close to the high D. I'm surprised. I think if it's either a reed issue or maybe just your voicing, it should be pretty easy for you to go. I mean, they're so close. If you're already getting the C sharp, it's just literally lift up that finger, right? Ah. Also, you have to be warmed up. I'm barely warmed up on the clarinet. So good reed, that gives you enough firm resistance, nice strong air, and your voicing of your tongue inside your mouth. How do you play G sharp on flute? Easy, quick question. Guys, we're almost done, by the way, but thank you so much for all of your comments and questions. It seems like we have a nice, some new folks on today, which is awesome. Usually happens this time of year. We have a lot of beginners who are just starting their lessons. So G sharp on flute is super easy. It's just a G, thumb, 1, 2, 3, and then this pinky goes right there, and that makes it a G sharp. We still keep our right hand pinky on this E flat. That just kind of helps us to balance the flute. So you got a G, pinky, G sharp. Okay. Just a few minutes left before we wrap up. And those of you who follow the show, you might notice that we have Dennis in the chat, but not on the line today. We had a little technical difficulties, but Dennis is with us, helping us out, and so is Teresa and Joe. So we thank them. And let's get a couple more comments before we go. Comments and questions. About 2 minutes left. Leonardo has a request of a specific song here. Sure, I can add that to my list. It's a long list I have to get through, but I can add that to my list. Angel, what happens if you add too much cork grease? You really have to add a lot to have it be too much, but it can be too much if your clarinet's joints are slipping apart. That should be enough cork grease that you can get your clarinet joints connected with a little bit of twisting and pushing, but it shouldn't be really hard to put together. That means you need more cork grease, but it shouldn't just slip right on or slip right off. That's too much cork grease, and that means your clarinet can fall apart without you intending it to. How do you do slur keys? Okay, so a slur, Talia, is when you... So normally on every instrument, every wind instrument, we tongue every note. Ta, ta, ta. I put a little T with my tongue on the tip of the reed. Tu, 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 every time I played the note. A slur is when they put a curved line underneath the notes, and any note that's under the sort of umbrella of the curved line means you move your fingers to that note, you keep your air steady, but you don't re-tongue. So we tongue the C, but we just move our fingers with a steady stream. Ta, like this. That's slur. Tongued, here's slur. So that's what tonguing and slurring is. Quick explanation. Okay, folks, we are at the end of our show. Oh my gosh, look at all these questions that I haven't gotten to. Diverse said it's, isn't that A flat? So the note I showed you, G sharp on the flute, you guys are asking great questions, and you're setting me up to teach very good, important concepts. So, real quick, well, we're out of time, but G sharp and A flat are the same note. Check out the piano here. Here's a G. Turn up my, we turned on my jazz. I'll turn up my piano. Here's a G. Sharp means to go up 1/2 step. So G sharp, we're on this black key, but check this out. We go to A right here. There's A, and if I say play A flat, that means to go down 1/2 step. A flat. So look at this. If we're starting on G and we go G sharp, we're here. If we're on A and we say A flat, we're on the same key. And so that is the reason that every note that has a flat name also has a sharp name. There's two names for the same sound. On the flute, G sharp is the same as A flat. Actually, on every instrument, G sharp is the same as A flat. All right. Great questions, everybody. And it's about time to wrap up the show. So when I finish the live stream, you're going to see on your screen, you'll see this. And that is just, you know, how you can follow me on social media, on the Instagram and all that. And if you want to email me, okay, that'd be great. Everyone, thanks so much for being here. Please give a thanks to Dennis and Teresa and Joe in the chat for helping us out, and please like this video. Please let your friends know who might be beginners that they can join our show. They can ask us questions. They can ask me questions. You can ask each other questions. You guys have been doing a great job of helping each other in the chat, which I love it. It's a nice sort of helpful community that we have here. I want to keep that going. So everyone, thank you so much. And to be continued next week. Come back, bring your friends, bring your questions, and until then, make sure you play your instrument a lot and have fun. Okay, folks, I will see you in a week. Have a great week. See you soon. Bye-bye.